Hello, I'm Brad Fraser, and welcome to a new episode of Old Movies for Young People.
And I'm Spencer Shunk, and today the movie we will be discussing is Papillon from 1973.
Directed by Franklin L. Schaffner, written by Dalton, Trumbo, and Lorenzo Semple Jr.
So Papillon, played by Steve McQueen, is a jewel thief in Paris who is accused of murder, perhaps falsely, we don't know, and is sent to prison in the colony of French Guiana in South America.
You'll be back, Papillon. Don't worry. You'll be back.
Where he meets the famous counterfeiter
Louis Degas,
who is played by Dustin Hoffman, and they strike up a friendship that lasts throughout their entire lives.
They don't start out being friends right away. In fact, Steve McQueen knows that Dustin Hoffman's character has a great deal of money and that it can be very useful in these escape attempts, which he's planning from the very minute he gets into prison.
At first glance, I'm afraid that I regarded you with rather a large degree of unworthy suspicion. Am I clear?
No. Well, it now seems quite possible that until we get to a decent jail with bribable guards, I may stand in some need of rather close physical protection. That depends on how long you want to live.
And there are 3 prison breaks in the movie, which break it up into 3 acts. The first one is unsuccessful.
He didn't me. I'll take care of him, sir.
Steve McQueen ends up in solitary confinement for 5 years, where Dustin Hoffman sends him coconuts to keep him healthy. However, he's found out, and therefore Steve McQueen is put into solitary confinement with no light in his cell for 6 months.
And it is horrible.
Because he has to eat bugs.
Yeah.
He gets out of that after 5 years, and he's aged quite a lot, and is put into a more minimum security prison where he starts planning his next escape. And he runs into... Sorry?
Immediately.
Yeah. And he runs into one of my favorite characters in the film. And when I saw this film in 1973 at the age of 14, it was a very, very important character. His name is Charriere. He's played by Robert Deman, who I couldn't find anything else on. He hasn't done much since then, but he was the first gay character in a film I saw who wasn't treated with contempt, but was actually treated as a valued member of the cast like anyone else.
I'm a queer, a fairy, a poof. But there's one thing you forgot. You may have been framed as you say you were, but I wasn't. Between the two of us, I'm the one who's killed a man.
And because of the jail keep's attraction to him, he and McQueen are also able to plan another escape. It goes horribly wrong. Dustin Hoffman has to come along at the last minute, but he breaks his ankle before they set out in a boat for Colombia. While they're in the boat, Dustin Hoffman's broken ankle starts to go gangrenous, and so they have to remove part of the ankle without any anesthetic. So they get him drunk, they heat up a knife over a Bunsen burner, and they cut part of his leg off.
If you want to yell, you yell.
I certainly will.
So then they get to Colombia, and
They just make it to the beach.
they make it to the beach and are immediately busted. Steve McQueen runs into the forest. Charriere is shot, but we don't know if he's dead or not. And of course, Dustin Hoffman's character can't do anything because we cut part of his leg off, so we basically have to leave him on the beach. Steve McQueen runs into the jungle, where he runs into
another escapee who
escapee.
these guys, the guards, were coming along the beach with when they happened to meet up with him.
He follows the other guy into the jungle, where they are pursued by mercenary headhunters with blow darts who have been hired by
the colonial powers
to find these prisoners. The unfortunate guy who started the whole thing is speared by a trap.
Yeah, he runs and it comes up, total death trap dungeon style.
Exactly,
and
impales him completely. Steve gets hit and drugged with blow darts from the headhunters, and falls into the water over the cliff. And when he wakes up, he's on a beach and he's in a village full of beautiful women and beautiful young men who don't wear tops, and is accepted as part of the tribe for a while. It's all a bit weird, and they are not quite as wonderful and trustworthy as they appear to be. And Steve McQueen realizes that the head of the tribe wants a butterfly tattoo on his chest, just like Steve has, and if he doesn't do it right, the guy will probably kill him. We have a very tense tattooing sequence. Steve passes out, and when he wakes up, the whole village is gone, and they've left him some pearls.
How that whole sequence advanced the story at all, we don't really know.
Don't
but
know.
Emotionally, it does kind of hit a certain note.
It
that
gives you
maybe
a
we
rest.
need. Yeah.
It gives you a respite in what is a very intense movie.
Yeah.
So
He
Steve
ends
uses
up,
his pearls to go to civilization.
Yeah, doesn't he bribe a nun and get
bribes
taken
a
in
nun
as at a
in a
nunnery?
convent.
But Mother Superior quickly betrays him and turns him back over to the prison authority, so he's fucking back
and
in prison.
steals his pearls.
Steals his pearls too, yeah.
And steals his pearls. Before he goes to Devil's Island, he actually goes back into solitary for another 5
you're
years.
right,
And we
yeah.
skip over that, thankfully, because we couldn't use another 5-year solitary sequence. And when he gets out, at the same time, his gay friend, Matt Charriere, who wasn't killed when he was shot, gets out just in time to say hi and die. Which is very sad, and the only gay character. But the way I can justify the gay character dying at this point is because everyone else in the fucking movie who's gotten involved with him has died as well.
Yeah, no, it certainly doesn't feel homophobic.
No, it doesn't feel homophobic. It doesn't feel sacrificial. And then Steve goes to Devil's Island, where he finds Dustin Hoffman, who knows now that he's out of money. He's bribed everyone he can. His wife is never going to get him out of jail, and he's raising pigs and spending his last years on Devil's Island. Where it appears, finally, they're just going to be a couple old bachelors getting old and raising pigs together.
They've come up. We'll have carrots.
Louis,
It said 6 weeks on the packet, but it's only taken 4.
Louis, if I could find a way to get off this island, would you like to come with me?
Oh, yes, of course. Get away, Freddie, you know better than that. Get away. I got no money. They took it all.
Forget about that. You can't buy your way out of here.
And how?
I don't know yet.
Then we don't have to discuss it.
What really works for this movie is the performances. First of all, this is one of Steve McQueen's greatest performances, and if you haven't seen a Steve McQueen movie, this is a very good one to start with. And even Dustin Hoffman, who can be a little too, I'm acting really hard, isn't quite as annoying as he often can be in this particular
He's really
film.
good in this movie.
Yeah.
He's really sympathetic, and he's got a complex kind of
Yes.
personality thing
But
going
let me
on.
ask you this,
Yeah.
as the straight guy.
Yeah.
So here you are, you're going to prison, Steve McQueen is your buddy. How long do you think it would take before you would have sex with him as a straight guy?
With Steve McQueen, I mean, looking around at my other options, like, it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's
pretty
either,
damn
I'm not
quick.
going to wait until the second prison until Matt Charriere shows up. You know?
Right.
It's been a while by that point.
Of course, this
Yeah.
being Hollywood, no one actually has sex, but I know if I was
There's a
put
lot
in-
of implication going around, though.
Well, it's hinted at, but certainly it's not hinted that Steve McQueen is having sex with any guys.
That's true,
Or,
yeah.
frankly, Dustin Hoffman. And what do you think? Would your generation be able to stomach this movie? I mean, are they too queasy to put up with? It's very brutal.
Sure. Would I recommend it for, do I think it has validity for audiences of right now? I would say yes. But I also think in terms of its depiction of the treatment of prisoners and how it's unflinching, it doesn't look away, and it doesn't shy away from indicting the colonial powers of that time.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a lot of the peripheral fucked up things that they're doing to actual Guyana as well, right? That we can kind of infer. So I think in that sense I would recommend it, yeah.
Highly recommended, not monkey dump. Give it a look.
Thank you very much. I'm Spencer Shunk,
And I'm Brad Fraser.
and that was Old Movies for Young People.
Tune in next time.
Ready? Is that the tail? Oh, I'm gonna go over this side.
Get the head.
The head?
Yeah.
You try the tail. Okay, now you try the head.